My phone cut out. It ran out of memory. I was speaking about meeting one of the dads at the park. I reference him as Theta, but it's the 6 TA. There's no symbol for it. It's it's not like the, it's just A. It's a meeting spot. So, I was just thinking about this. There was, when I walked back by NYPD, there was this nondiscreet van, and it said he had an NYPD shirt on, and he was changing a car battery, and on his truck it said Fleet, which was an interesting reference based on what I had just left at the park. So it's universal signal and track signaling apparently working together. And then on the back, it said something about NYPD intelligence, something. I just got it quick out of my purview. Now here's the thing. I thought at some point with like Dingo Dad Associations of Australia, there was supposed to be like catch and release. When did this become like a work release program that like never ends? I get beat up and hurt and abused, and I never get to the built for by spec in Universal when it was safe before it developed or enveloped its own rhythmic pattern. That's an arrhythmia that's really dangerous for the biology. Just curious. I was speaking to the gentleman at the park today, the dad. Now I noticed his child is a little on the, I mean, they used to use the word husky, Husky, but thicker side, which I only mention because I'm suffering from the same event myself. And it's stuff that should be fixed. It's not the type of Capricorn husk some of you just automatically jump to thinking about based on where the Rapoggle has you thrown out of the cosmic nursery into some temple mounted whatever. Like Templeton for Skinnerd. I gotta think about this. So, I was speaking to him, and he said to me something about, I said, well, when I put my 2 cents in, when I was like building and helping plan in the world before we all got to this point, I was like, I really thought it was better for resources to be spent like Disney World, where they go about and they clean and disinfect the park, like after people go back to the hotels. I really thought at Metropolitan City it was a really great idea to have a cleaning crew come out and sanitize the entire area. So this way the inhabitants the next day when they're for their next on set, they'd have a clean, cohesive environment to move around in, and it looked healthy, and it was chemically controlled in a stable manner where people weren't playing around with dangerous other things. I was like, but apparently I somehow got ousted and outranked and outvoted, and they instead installed some money-making schematic where it's a negative influence and then becomes a positive feature and then negatively influences every influencer that comes after. Because now it's like they purposely break the humans in order to have places to care for them, and they build a whole hospital facility rather than taking the hospital idea of Disneyland and Disney World, where it's cleanliness and neat and tidy, and you scrub the parks and the streets, and the entire sanitation department has a completely better agenda in all metropolitan cities. That was the better way to go, rather than taking all of this dangerous campaign money and building all of these disgusting computer laboratories and medical research facilities into custom designed diseases for everybody's different genetics in like a magazine like Portfolio, like really disgusting, understated, and then like mix insurance companies with it. And, like, we just have to now keep putting band-aids all over the place because you guys put one set of wrong leadership and management in your mix and you broke the entire reason for humanity. It is so painful to be here and stuck. I don't understand why I got caught up in something, in a debris field, no less, that I didn't want to create. I didn't create myself. Somebody painted me into this, and it's just gotten steadily worse. Today's October 12th, 2021. I'm part of ORT, but not because I want to be. And I'm stuck at debris level, DEBRIS, which is the Bris area, which is where I went back to Jeff Bezos. When I was speaking to the guy today, he mentioned darknet, and then I mentioned the old traditional Silk Road of like on foot and horse and whatever, for trade route and trade post, like a gypsy kind of a thing. And he said that there was some Silk browser. I didn't at the time. It didn't click about the Kindle and the Fire from Amazon for me to mention anything. And I'm like, I was just listening and like trying like wait for like nuggets of important pearls of wisdom from this gentleman, that then I could thatch and weave and knit later, which is what I'm doing now. And so I gotta think about this. So he said that, but with Jeff Bezos, it's the Bris area. They chose a logo. They now have navy blue vans driving around that look like Secret Service vans that used to come in white and black. They're now in navy blue. They have what looks like a shaft of a creation pen tool in a stylus, let's say, and an arrow of some sort. It's a multi-simplistic but multi-dimensional dynamic branding whatever for the Bris children of the North America since the Iber to Siberia. I believe last I heard from my grandfather 2 generations ago, they had a different boy system, which he did not get into detail, but one can only whatever. So now I have to think about this. So it says on it Amazon, which almost could be cryptic for amazing, and then Prime Minister. So, I mean, I caught the nuance of the branding and marketing department, which brandish. I know they get like all excited when somebody makes a spot they're like, that's our quiet, like, whatever, great, okay, I noticed it. That's where I'm held, is in the Bris section, but we didn't have special community, so we didn't have special ceremony, and I'm not being held liable in catch and release and work release, because I didn't know about this fancy community that uses this special technique. Just saying. But that hospital and building these buildings and research facilities and ordering all these computers and going down a really dangerous, I mean, it's fine if you have one hospital and you have one set staff and they're specialists and you have sanitation who cleans the real area and it's like a zoo. It really is like a zoo. You don't see the animals getting put up and like, I mean, they have their bed and nesting at night equipment, but then the zookeepers keep a schedule of keeping the area, and I don't know what it's called because I'm not in DVM, but the extreme zoo has people go in and clean the habitat, and it works. We are missing that cleaning of the habitat, like a Disneyland scrub of sanitation going on at night when the humans go in for their circadian rhythm part. And that leads to more epidemiological disease and then promotes all the wrong human behaviors. And that then ties into other stuff. That's a major problem. But this is how broken the society has become, but is not what we were on path for in another portion of the galaxy, let's call it, since the Earth, solar system, Milky Way, and universe at galaxy is broken. Because while you have one, it's called universe. One verse in physics law. If that one verse gets broken, which it is currently, physics starts to unravel and becomes really dangerous. People can explain it. It's been taught. There is a human component. I am part of that human component, which is why it's so serious. But once you get laws involved, then you get lawyers involved, then there's money involved, then there's people's kids involved, and then it becomes counterintuitive, honestly. I don't know what to tell you. Physics is broken, they know it. I don't know why they're keeping me in POW when it's power, POWER, and I'm prisoner of war at the moment in an ER, traumatic, abusive situation with humans. And I really don't see this powder keg, KEG, getting any better on its own. I just don't know who to ask for help. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.